welcome back to my channel. It's 18 weeks out from WBFF in October. Nothing really to report yet. Calories still haven't dropped, so that's wicked. Just gonna do a little Q&A for this video that I put up some questions on my Instagram. So I'll go through and answer them, and then probably my next video or the one after that, I'll do a day in the life. Yeah, so we'll just jump into these questions and get started. How are you finding mum life? Easier than I thought it would be. So many people warned me when I was pregnant that it would be really, really hard and that I wouldn't get sleep. But I know he sleeps 12 hours a night, except obviously when he's sick. So I'm generally getting 7 to 8 hours sleep a night, and he's just a really happy little boy. Like, he's only really cries when he's done a poo or if he's hungry. Like, other than that, he's happy all the time. So that makes it really easy. How soon after birth did you start training? So I waited 6.5 weeks. So exactly 6 weeks after having Alaric, I had my 6-week checkup with my doctor. And then a few days later, I had my 6-week checkup with my postnatal physio. And she just checked my pelvic floors and everything, gave me the all clear, gave me a few exercises to work on to bring those muscles in even more. But yeah, so 6 weeks after, I would never go back earlier. I was obviously going for walks and stuff, but in the gym, I didn't go back for the 6 weeks. What do you eat in a day? Well, at the moment I'm eating 3,052 calories. In the next couple of weeks, I will go from being on macros to strict. So before that happens, I will film a day on my plate, just because obviously when I go onto my strict meal plan, that's completely developed from Asher for me, and I just don't really want to be posting what I'm eating when it's specifically for me. What's your biggest advice postpartum? See a pre and postnatal physio. Even if you don't go to the gym, even if you're not training, the last thing you want is to wake up when you're in your 60s and have a prolapsed uterus. So yeah, I would definitely recommend going and seeing an allied health professional. How your body feels now versus pre-Alaric. Definitely different. I wouldn't say I feel weaker. I'm just a lot more cautious with what I do, because obviously before having him, if I hurt myself, it was kind of just like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, I'll just deal with it. Where now, if I hurt myself, I don't want it to affect looking after him or anything. Yeah, obviously my stomach skin's a little bit loose, and I've got stretch marks, but yeah, it doesn't feel too different. How was recovery for you after birth? So recovery was really good. I had to go back into hospital 48 hours, no, 36 hours, because it was the afternoon after having him, because I started hemorrhaging when I got home. Went back into hospital. They checked me over, did an ultrasound, and they'd left some of my placenta in. So I had to go into surgery to have that removed. So recovery was a little bit, it wasn't bad, but for the first 2 weeks I had to sit on donut pillows or on towels holding me up, because obviously like I had an episiotomy and a second degree tear during birth, and they'd stitch them up, and then when they had to take the placenta out, they had to undo that stitch, undo those stitches, scrape out the placenta, and then re-sew me back up. So I'd essentially been sewn up twice. So sitting down was hard, but other than that, everything was pretty good. Everything was good. How are you going about managing Alaric and day life and prep with Ross away? So Alaric goes to kindy on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which I've picked those days because they're the days that I have to go into uni when uni starts. But at the moment I'm using those days just to do my housework and do any appointments and stuff that I don't really want to take him to. But so far it's been pretty easy with prep. Obviously we are only 2 weeks in, so you know, nothing's really changed drastically to my normal life yet. It's definitely hard with Ross away. Like, you know, your partner's in another state for 6 weeks at a time. Like, it's hard regardless if you're by yourself or with a kid. So yeah, but we make do. It's just our life. What surprises you the most about being a mum for the first time? I feel like mostly are mum questions. How much I love him, which is weird. Like I never wanted kids ever. Like I didn't have any maternal bones in my body. But yeah, like the moment I saw him, I was just like, oh my God, like I've never felt like this before. Like he's literally like my favorite person in the world. What are you studying? So I am starting in 3 or 4 weeks time, a Bachelor of Exercise Science to become an exercise physiologist. And then once that course is finished, I'm doing my Bachelor of Nutrition and Dietetics to become a dietitian. So I'm really excited for that. I just want to be able to help people that actually need the help, not just want the help, if that makes sense. How is adjusting to mum life in a completely different state? I don't know. Like obviously, I don't know what it would have been like if I lived in Adelaide still, so I can't really comment or compare on that. But I think it was probably a good thing because I didn't have people weighing in on what they think Ross and I should be doing or shouldn't be doing, I guess. How have you found adjusting to mum life after being so independent? It's quite hard, to be honest. Like this part is like, obviously being a mum isn't hard, but it's more so because I'm so used to being on my own, just having someone there all the time. It's just a lot of interaction. And mainly like, it's hard when him and I both have a cold, I guess, because I'm one of those people where when I'm sick, I like to be left alone and I don't want people talking to me or touching me, where obviously as a baby, when he's unwell, he just wants lots of cuddles. But it's fine, like, we're making it work. I love him, so it's fine. How are you finding prep this time around as a mum? Like I said, I'm only 2 weeks in, so I haven't really noticed any changes yet, but I will keep you updated on that one. How many days a week are you training? So I train 6 days a week, so Monday through to Saturday. So on Mondays I do back, rear delts and glutes. Tuesdays I do calves, glutes and hammies. Wednesdays, I do biceps and shoulders. Thursdays, I do quads, and every second Thursday, I'm PTing at Wells Gym in Surfers with Brody. Fridays, I do glutes, and then Saturdays, I do either full legs or quads. Yeah. Oh, and the next question was, what is your current training schedule? Refer back to that one. How are you feeling with prep and comp? Prep, I'm feeling okay because, like I said, it is only 2 weeks in. Nothing has changed really. Like, my calories have actually gone up, but I haven't got any cardio and I haven't got any extra steps. So prep itself is quite fine. And I'm still on macros. I'm not on strict meal planning yet, so it's quite easy because I'm eating things that I want to eat. But comp, I don't know, like, I am a little bit anxious. Like, my last 2 comps, like, I've placed in the top 5. I am a little bit worried that obviously having that little bit of loose skin and having the stretch marks from having a Alaric, that might affect my marking. I'm hoping it doesn't, but never know. It is a aesthetically pleasing sport, and stretch marks aren't really aesthetically pleasing. But I'm gonna go in there and do my best, and, you know, like, obviously I would like to win, but in the same breath, comp is 2 days before Alaric turns 1, so the fact that I've made it back to stage in a year is an accomplishment on its own. Goals for the future: personal, family, and career. So personal, will probably be to win my WBFF pro card in fitness, and then when borders are open, go and get a crown from somewhere. I'd like the Australian crown, but I would also like, you know, 1 or 2 other crowns. Family, I'm not really sure. Like I said, didn't really want kids until obviously we had Alaric, and I adore him. But I don't know if I want another one. Like, I don't know if I want to share my love and attention. Like, I kind of just like being able to give it all to him, and I feel like if we had another one, then I wouldn't be able to give him everything he needs. But, you know, he's only 8 months old, so I don't really know if I want another one or not. Like, you know, when he's a bit older, Ross and I might sit down and be like, oh no, like, yes, we want another kid, but, you know, he's still only a baby, so we're not really thinking about the kids yet. And family with Ross. Well, Ross is always perfect. So that's why I've been with him for 13 years. So, and career. Obviously continue to grow my online coaching business, help as many people as I can, finish both my bachelor's degrees, and then, yeah, work as an exercise physiologist and dietitian, and I guess help people that need help, not people that want help, if that makes sense. Why do you compete? Well, I guess because I love it. Well, the first time I ever competed, I just wanted to see what it was like to get that lean, or, you know, to go through a competition prep, because I was studying my PT course, and, you know, I just wanted the experience that if anyone ever came to me and said that they wanted to do something like that, I would know what it's like, rather than just doing it for someone and not knowing what the experience feels like. But I would never prep anyone though. Like, it's too exhausting on yourself. Being a competitor, I don't want that responsibility. But yeah, and then I prepped because I just wanted to see what it was like, and I absolutely fell in love with the process. You know, I was never really good at sports at school. I was never really good at academics, but it turns out that I'm good at weightlifting, so why not do that as a sport and, you know, create a physique that looks good. Yeah. And also, like, I've met all of my friends through competing. Like, before I used to compete and before I was into health and fitness, I had maybe like 2 or 3 friends, and we never really hung out because we never really had anything in common. We just worked together. Pardon me. But yeah, now like all my friends that I've met through competing. So yeah. How are you finding Queensland? Honestly, I love it. Like, during COVID it was hard because obviously all our family was back in Adelaide, but I would never go back. Like, I love it. I love everything about it. I love how close we are to the beach. I love the vibe of the place. I love the people. It's just everything I thought it was going to be and more. And how much cardio are you doing? So I'm doing 0 cardio at the moment. Yeah, no cardio in the gym at all. I'm doing obviously my walks with Indy, but I don't really count them as cardio because I do them every day anyway. And I'm hitting 10,000 steps, which is what I hit in my off season anyway. So no step increases and no cardio. So yeah. So that is my question and answers all done. Thank you for watching, and until you see you next time. Bye.